Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about customer list building as another part of your marketing strategy. Now, one of the ways to increase the number of people coming back to your store, your website, or your location is to be in contact with them on a regular basis. And you're going to be alerting them to what you have that might help them in some kind of way. Now, in order to do this, businesses must have ways to collect contact information on a systematic basis. Now, some of the methods are strictly internet-based, including video channel subscriptions, social media page subscriptions, push notifications on the web browser or mobile device. Businesses can also use physical newsletters sent by snail mail sent to the customer's physical address. However, none of these rival the use of email in companies, both large and small, for building a customer and/or prospect list. Now, to send email, a business will need to get permission of the customer or the prospect by a customer voluntarily providing their email or a customer making a purchase using their email. Now, having a customer's email address will allow the company to send email telling them about things that are related to their needs. Now, in sending these emails, businesses should not use personal email accounts, even if you purchase them commercially for business purposes. Now, in most cases, if a company sends a considerable number of emails from a standard email account, they're going to trigger the spam filters of most major internet service providers. Now, this is problematic for online marketers in particular, even more so than brick and mortar businesses, because email is how these companies are actually going to be delivering their products and services. Now, to deal with this, companies and individuals in business choose email services that send business-related emails in bulk and work to keep them from triggering spam filters. In marketing circles, these services are called autoresponders. Now, there are a number of companies that provide these services, some of which have familiar names. Perhaps you've heard of Aweber, or you might have heard of the company called GetResponse, and in some circles you may have even heard of a company called Constant Contact. They allow you to send email without worrying over whether or not you're going to trip the spam filter, or even worse, that you would be close to violating any spam-related laws. Now, these tend to be tiered services based on the number of people that are going to be stored in a database. So in other words, the more customers and prospects that you store in the database or in the autoresponder, the more the business is going to have to pay. Now, companies are permitted to manually enter each of their customers into this database if the customer has already given them permission. Of course, a business can also program all their online purchases so they collect contact email addresses when the buyer actually makes payment. Now, both of these are triggered by a prior customer relationship. Now, any company with an online presence of some kind can collect the names and email addresses of those that are interested in their products and services, even if they haven't purchased. The individual would volunteer to provide their contact information in exchange for something they're getting in their own best interest. So depending on whether or not the company is online or offline, this interest can be expressed in several ways. The customer might give their email address in exchange for a discount. They might give their contact information in order to get a premium or a bonus. They might even give their contact information for some kind of credit or future benefit. However, now businesses operating online are now collecting names and email addresses in exchange for information. And this information is typically designed to solve certain problems or to help that customer or prospect accomplish certain goals. Customers and prospects arrive at specific pages on websites because they have been attracted to solve their particular need. And once they're there, that solution is then promised to them in the form of access to some kind of free report or video or some kind of multimedia experience. This method is powerful for a number of reasons. First, the customer has identified what they may be interested in purchasing through their own problem or goal. In other words, they have self-identified. Second, the business then has the opportunity to become more of a trusted advisor to the person seeking that information. Third, the company can then market relevant and targeted advertisements and offers to the individuals on this particular list. And lastly, once these prospects are on an email list, promotions only cost time in order to market them. You don't have to spend further advertising dollars in order to get them to buy. Now, the key to this kind of marketing is for the company to work to establish a relationship and dialogue with the prospects. Now, this can be done by surveying them to find out what they're looking for. It can also be done by inviting them to online and offline educational events relative to the niche and their problem-solving area. Of course, these two activities should be done with existing customers also. Now, as time moves forward, a business should communicate with prospects in a different manner than they do with customers. Autoresponder companies have automation features in their service that makes this very easy to do. Now, when someone is added to a customer list, they can automatically be taken off the prospect list. And of course, this is going to make the business to be effective in using their list building activity to generate more sales. Ultimately, a business is looking to build the kind of relationship through this database where a customer will begin to know, like, and trust them enough to accept their recommendations to make sound purchases. So this is a vital part of any marketing strategy in order to generate more leads and build additional sales. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.